Good evening, everybody. Welcome to True North Fighters, baby. I'm your boy, Wolfpak, and I've got my main man, Shamaro, with us.
What's up? Dragon Fox is in the house, or in the dojo, I might say. Anyway, yes, we are indeed, Wolf. We are back for season 2. This is the official first episode of season 2 of True North Fighters, and good to be back.
Let's go, the remix, baby.
Indeed. So before we get into today's topic, we're just going to give you guys the lowdown on what's going to be the new format going forward. So we realized that we were kind of going very long in season 1 episode, so we're shrinking it down to like half-hour episodes, and we're going to keep it to like one topic per episode, but we're going to keep the variety going, and we're going to do some alteration, or yeah. We're gonna go back and forth between the subject matter for you guys because we want to encompass as much of the fighting game community as possible. So, this episode will be like more geared towards like more advanced players. Episode 2, which we'll be recording later tonight, will be like more for beginner based players. And then we'll just kind of go back and forth like that. Wolf and I will take turns like bringing up different topics And as far as tournaments go, we'll make those like the center of the episode that week when they happen, and we'll go from there. So guys, just let us know in the comments if you like the new format, if you think it could use a little more work, if you want to give us some feedback and suggestions. That's fine. Let us know. We love to get the feedback so we know that we're doing things right or wrong. And I can't think of anything else to say about that. Wolf, do you have anything else to say about the new format?
No, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. So, hopefully we'll be able to have a bigger viewer retention with this new format. And, hope everybody enjoys the way we've modified things. So, without any further ado, let's get rocking and rolling. And we should point out the inclusion of two major icons in the fighting game genre that have pretty much come back and have essentially broken the internet.
Essentially, yes, Wolf. Like, and we're going to take turns talking about these two guys. On the Tekken side, I'm going to be talking about our boy Heihachi, who is now fully out. I got the chance to download him and lab him a little bit earlier today. So there's
Let's
that.
go.
And Wolf, you're going to be covering a guest character to Street Fighter, I believe.
Yes, a historic first, as Terry Bogard is now officially available to play as in Street Fighter 6. So I'll be going over my impressions and thoughts on Terry. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, and it's good that you've had some playtime with him, because I'm gonna be honest, like I have not touched the PlayStation for at least a month or two, so my updates were a little bit backed up, and I only had the chance to have time to play Heihachi, so I have not touched Terry yet. Like, I'm coming into this conversation fresh on Terry.
That's all right. And you know what? I was actually late to the party myself on that, because I was enjoying playing Heihachi so much, and I was enjoying the Chaos Reigns expansion for MK1, that I almost completely forgot that Terry was now available. So thankfully, I was able to get some playtime in for everybody's favorite Wolf. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy what we have to say, and as always, we're curious to hear your opinions as well. So with that said, Shamaro, how about you lead us off, buddy?
Okay, going into Heihachi first. Well, first off, I will say, I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that the new temple stage, the fact that they have to pay $7 extra to get that. I thought that came with the new story expansion, or just when you bought Heihachi. I thought that was going to be included, but no, it's its own separate thing. But, I can understand that sort of like, I mean, it's $7, but like that stage, holy crap. Like when I was labbing Heihachi today, I was playing on that stage and basically just beating Kazuya's ass. But oh my gosh, there's so much to that stage. I mean, like, one, you have the times of day, so you have all the lighting that goes into that. Two, you have like all the monks training in the background, which basically it's kind of like you're making all like a little movie reel for a 360 degree space. So, you know what, $7. I can understand why they're charging an extra to get into that temple, because like it is definitely a stunning arena.
Yeah, I think it's worth the price tag, and Harada has actually reached out in regards to that, and he actually said that he was going to rethink the whole process of DLC stages releasing alongside characters, because if you remember, back when Lydia came out, the new stage that came with her was free. So
yeah,
I guess it's kind of like a situational kind of thing, where it was pretty much like free with the update. So, but at least Harada has, pointed out what's happened. He's acknowledged what's happened, and is working on trying to make amends for when we receive the final character for the first character pass, and then, of course, onwards throughout the rest of the support lifespan for Tekken 8. But I most certainly agree with you. Genmaji Temple has so much going for it, and, like, honestly, you can't help but feel this sense of serenity when you're playing on that stage.
Thank you. Yes, I was trying to figure out a good word for it, and serenity definitely fits the bill. Because like it just feels so zen when you're fighting in that.
It really does.
I know, like you don't even need to get in the zone because you're already in the zone when you're in the stage.
Exactly. So, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. So props to the dev for just that whole stage and just being awesome again.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to Heihachi, the man himself. Oh my gosh, so happy to play him again. Like, you know me, Wolf. Like I love playing as him in T7 when we used to face off, and it just felt like coming home when I slipped into him. Like
for sure.
Like, yeah, and I will say I have thoughts, both pros and cons for him. I will say that. So starting off with the pros, I will say he definitely feels a bit more fluid than he did in T7, which I like. I do like him being able to pull off combos effectively, and I will say his
oh boy,
his square X grab, I will say is absolutely hilarious. Like the fact that he gives his opponent a noogie. It's absolutely, oh my gosh. And it was even better too, because like when I was laughing at him today, I was basically, my punching bag was Kazuya.
Right.
So think of that. Father giving his son a noogie. Oh my gosh. It was
What makes it even funnier though is the fact that that particular throw has actually been part of Heihachi's arsenal for like several games. I don't know how far back it goes, but like that is for sure a thing that's been around. But like also given the circumstances surrounding the Mishima Kazama bloodline, yeah, I can see how hilarious that would be.
Indeed, and I guess that just shows my how new to Tekken I am, given that I didn't know that. But yeah, like that was fun. So yeah, and I will say his heat attack is definitely pretty cool. Now, those are the pros. As for the cons, I will say I'm not sure how big of a fan I am with the fact that his launchers require him to basically do a wave dash into either a punch or a kick, depending on like which launcher you want to do, whether it's like the stomp that sends your opponent flying, or whether it's the uppercut. And you know what? I'm fine if it's like more than just like a button to do a launcher, but like wave dashing is definitely a skill that you need to develop. And I will say I'm not the most proficient wave dasher in most fighting games, so it makes Heihachi just a little less accessible to me, the fact that I can't like start like an air combo. But yeah, and then there's also the fact about his heat activations, which is also requiring wave dashing plus 2 buttons. So I mean, it's not as bad as it could have been, but I will say it could. Like, I feel like they could have just done like maybe a quarter circle button, like something that's a little bit more easier to pull off than like a double tap wave dash, because like you need to get the timing for a double tap wave dash and then pressing a button to like that kind of combo. That for me at least that takes a little bit more proficiency, while quarter circle plus button is a little more easier to pull off.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and like honestly, you bring up some pretty good points, and I think that with those points in mind, I'm sure that the devs will probably do something about it to, I guess, alleviate a bit of the difficulty in pulling off those launcher combos with future patches and stuff like that. So, like, it's a good observation, but at the same time, we're still pretty early into post-release for Heihachi. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but that's some pretty
true.
good criticism.
I mean, given how much work they did on Dragunov to make him proficient, like I can see how they're gonna have some work to do on Heihachi, especially like even more so on his launchers again, because like when I was trying to do his launchers in the first little while, I was actually having trouble like catching the opponent in the air when like after the launch. There were times when I would just like catch the opponent kind of as they hit the ground. So I got like one frame of I got one attack of stagger in, and then boom, my opponent was just on the ground. And Heihachi doesn't really have that many like low ground moves. Like he's more of a like he is a true Tekken character. Like he's more of a mid-range of a mid-height fighter.
Definitely. And considering the fact that he's one of the OGs, he is one of 4 characters out of every character introduced throughout the years to have appeared in all 8 mainline entries. So, I mean, that's saying a lot for a guy like Heihachi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I can definitely see the devs needing to tune him up a little bit, and I look forward to seeing like the patch notes that come in later on in the coming months, because like Heihachi, like they did him justice as far as like his general like fundamentals, but yeah, there definitely is a little bit more tweaking that could be done, in my opinion.
Definitely, for sure. A bit of a learning curve, but I think once they get it right, he will probably be a go-to for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, if that's not already the case. So,
I mean, like, I'm definitely, even before he gets patched, like, I'm still going to allow him a little bit more and get the hang of him, because, like, you know me. Like, Heihachi's my boy. He was, like, the first guy I really got comfortable with in T7. And I know you're going to hate this, but he still has some close approximation of the kick.
Well, I mean...
You know what kick I'm talking about, too.
Yes, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I know the one. But you know what? That's okay. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do in regards to that move specifically. If it's going to get a buff or a nerf, it's going to be fun to see how they patch Heihachi as support for the game goes along.
Indeed.
But I definitely agree with you. He is an excellently fun character to play as. Again, a little bit of a learning curve to this iteration of Heihachi, but like it's nothing too egregious.
Yeah, like it definitely could have been a lot worse. Like we could have gotten like how he was back in like T7 or yeah, like and I think you can agree with me that his control scheme was a bit more egregious in T7.
Yeah, now, it definitely was.
But now in T8, it's like everything else is like a lot more accessible. So I'm happy for that. So still room for improvement, but at least we got him in a more accessible format.
Yep, I totally agree with you that I agree with you on that 100% for sure. So that's a sign, guys. If you haven't already picked up Heihachi Mishima in Tekken 8, do so.
And while we're at, definitely pick up that stage again. $7, $7, depending on where you are in the world, but definitely worth it. It is a badass stage.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Wolf. Let's move on to Terry. What do you have to talk about Terry?
Well, initially when his gameplay trailer launched, he definitely looked like he played like his Fatal Fury and King of Fighters iterations. And that was something that I was initially a little concerned with, because you know me, I barely ever play King of Fighters. I am not the greatest at it, but that's, at the same time though, like, that concern has been alleviated by my willingness to learn more about how Terry works in King of Fighters, and then of course with City of the Wolves coming out next year, my willingness to learn about the Fatal Fury mechanics, like, I'm all in for that. So
yeah, I
now,
can totally see that. Like you're like if we're gonna keep on top of all like the newest trends and stuff in the fighting game community, learning more about Terry is definitely gonna be a necessity to keep up.
definitely. So like now that he's been out for a little bit, I gotta say, it's definitely, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but for those who like using the modern control scheme, you might want to switch to classic, because
Really?
yeah, this is
tell.
this is where Terry shines, because Terry, like, the way that they worked him into Street Fighter 6 is that they made him so that he could still play like a Street Fighter character while also retaining the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury qualities about him that made him such a joy to play as in the beginning.
So they actually hybridized him somehow?
Pretty much, yeah. Going with the modern control scheme, it definitely takes quite a bit away from his moveset. There are certain, he's got like a whole ton of special moves, and
Right.
you can't really pull them all off by using the modern control scheme. And at the same time, he's got a handful of unique attacks. Looking at Fire Kick, Power Dunk, Passing Sway, Power Drive. You can't really utilize a lot of those with the modern control scheme. With that said, it is forcing me to switch to the classic control scheme and basically try to learn Terry the same way that one would learn him through King of Fighters and Fatal Fury. So, yeah, it's pretty much, if you simply put, if you switch to the classic control scheme, it opens up his entire moveset. Whereas with the modern control scheme, it definitely feels limiting. And like it feels even more limiting because his super arts are absolutely out of this world. His level 2 super power geyser, you can actually extend twice off of power geyser.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you actually can. So with power geyser, it's quarter circle. So for the classic control scheme, it's 2 quarter circle inputs clockwise, followed by, I think it's hard punch, I believe. And so you gotta do the punch input twice to go twin geyser, and then you gotta do it once more to go triple geyser. So like literally, like, this is the ultimate way to maximize your damage output, is by utilizing power geyser and just extending it to the max. It is ridiculous how much health you can take off of someone when they're at full. It's ridiculous.
That sounds absolutely crazy. So okay, so
does.
power geyser extension, and as far as like say like damage and movement, how does he play just in general?
Traditional damage output, he's pretty much like an all-around sort of character. I feel like he's got a nice little blend of everything in there.
Okay, so he kind of kept the show energy from King of Fighters and Fatal Fury, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, but I feel like they took it up a notch, because, I mean, Terry's a really big deal. This is the very first time that a guest character has ever been playable in the history of Street Fighter. Obviously, Capcom and SNK wanted to go all out with Terry while making sure that he's not too overpowered. So I really do feel like they did a great job with that. I would say he's actually, I mean, this is just my own opinion. I think he's actually one of the faster characters in the game movement-wise.
Really?
Yeah, I really do think so, and I feel like that harkens back to his iterations in KOF and Fatal Fury. It's kind of cool that they actually kept that in there, while also making sure that they made all these different tweaks so that he fits within the parameters of gameplay for Street Fighter 6. And let's not forget all the different references that they piled in for Terry. There are so many Easter eggs for this guy, including the iconic Easter egg where Ken picks up Terry's hat and throws it to him, and Terry catches it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, bro.
And then, of course, you have Terry's stage.
Oh, yes. Abso-friggin-lutely. Like, obviously, when I said that they were going all out, they truly were going all out. There was no other stage that I would have picked for Terry if I was in control of this project. So, like, just complete A, double, triple, quadruple plus for making Terry such an exciting character to play. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong here, but I think they labeled his ease of play as, like, intermediate, I think, but to me, like, he's a bit more challenging to pick up, but I like the fact that he's challenging to pick up, because he's not like any of the other characters for very clear reasons, and I think this is a great way to get people to break out of their, their comfort zones and, challenge themselves. Overall,
so you're saying that Terry could be the bridge between the modern classic control schemes?
I do think so, yes. Again, opinion is completely subjective. I understand if people don't feel the same way, but yeah, as someone who still to this day struggles with the classic control scheme and is more familiar with simpler inputs like in Mortal Kombat or like in Injustice, it's definitely a pleasant surprise. The different kinds of challenges that come with trying to master Terry. So I will pretty much say this. I was not disappointed in the slightest with Terry. I think they did an excellent job with him. And the fact that they also gave him okay, so what it is in terms of outfits, and I'm going to try not to ramble on too much about this, his main outfit, that's what he's most known for, right? That's what he uses in just about all of his KOF appearances and just about all of his Fatal Fury appearances. However, what I discovered is that his second outfit, and this just goes to show how much of a noob I am when it comes to KOF and Fatal Fury, his second outfit is specifically based on what he looked like in the early 2000s era of King of Fighters. So
I don't think I'm familiar with that outfit. What is that outfit?
Basically it's the same outfit he's rocking in City of the Wolves.
Oh.
The leather jacket and everything.
Oh, that's actually an older incarnation of him?
It's an older look for him.
Dang. Okay, so this is going full circle then.
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly. So it's honestly, my mind was blown when I learned that look was basically his default for like 3 or 4 games in the early 2000s for KOF. And I think probably for like some of like the earlier Fatal Fury entries as well. I could be wrong there, but yeah, I was just like, holy smokes, so that's where it came from.
Well, I can't say I'm displeased with it. So, you talked about a lot about how good Terry is. Are there any like areas for improvement that you might recommend for the devs?
Man, it's really hard to find any sort of like weak points about Terry. But I think right now the reason I say that is because I haven't had too much time to lab Terry, so I'm pretty sure I'll have a better idea of what can be improved if I get some more playtime in for him. Because I think if anything, I've probably only spent like maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours so far just labbing Terry, so I don't really have enough playtime so far to kind of think of any sort of immediate points of improvement. But, you know, there's still plenty of time.
Yeah,
you know
I'm sure people will also play them and point out stuff that could be improved in later patches of the game.
Exactly. So, simply put, just like we said with Heihachi, if you haven't picked up Terry Bogard already for Street Fighter 6, make sure you do, because this guy does not disappoint, and he is so much fun to play as. Just before we move away from the topic, I think he's starting to give a run for the money of my mains.
Ooh.
He is seriously that much fun to play as.
Oh, that was fighting words for Chun Li right now, or Cammy.
I can't even believe I'm saying that right now. Honestly,
I know, like Cammy has been your main, like whenever she is in a game, like a Capcom fighter, she has always been your main. So the fact that
she's been my day one, yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that you're like kind of flirting with Terry now, oh my god.
Ooh. I mean, it's not, he hasn't completely taken over yet. Not yet. I'm just saying the possibility's out there.
So you're saying Kay should watch her back, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Her alongside, I guess, like, Marissa and Zangief and, like, just anyone else that I try to play as. But primarily Cammy, though. Primarily Cammy.
Yes, of course. You're British queen.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, that, honestly, I can't really even come up with the proper words to say just how fun it is to play as Terry in Street Fighter 6. So I'm so excited, man. I really am. I can't wait to play more of Terry, and it's getting me even more hyped for when City of the Wolves finally comes out next year.
Indeed.
It's going to be awesome.
Now, before we wrap up this episode, I actually have a secret surprise new character to run by you, because, while I didn't get the chance to play as Terry this afternoon, I did get a little time, thankfully, because of the shorter update load times, to lab one of the newest character in the DLC mini pack for the Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising Season 1.
Oh, let's go!
And if you remember, that was Versusia.
That's right, yes!
Yes, big dragon lady. And, oh my gosh, character design on point. On freaking point.
Bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, looks absolutely beautiful, and I will say she might be a very accessible character as well for newcomers to the Grand Blue series, because as I was playing with her, she actually does a really good job of both rushdown and zoning.
Oh man, that's a deadly combination right there. That is definitely
deadly. Like her neutral attacks, both her light, mediums, and heavies, they are definitely made for more short range. And she's got two different commands to do basically a rush attack, like basically just do a charge. So she's got that going for her, and then her specials are all like basically her neutral special is basically just like summoning a pillar of light from the sky like a little ways away from her. So zoning there, and then she's got like her forward special is like this diagonal upwards like anti-air attack, which basically just does kind of the same thing but just different direction. And then her down special is basically just doing a energy ball projectile, which is like not like full screen range, but is definitely enough to like get an opponent and off you. And when you do that, she even put like allow like automatically makes her back up a little bit. So it's a really good get off projectile.
Bro, that's freaking crazy. What?
Yeah, like honestly, like I thought Charlotta was gonna be my main just because like she's got that small hitbox, but I gotta say the big drain lady might be a contender for my main in this game.
I mean, that's no surprise. I mean, one of your loves is dragons, for crying out loud.
Yes,
so,
yes,
mean,
I am proud. I am proud of the fact that it is an obsession. I have no shame when it comes to dragons.
Yeah, so like I figured when you said that she was a huge dragon lady, I was thinking in my head, yep, this is going to be his main from now on. I swear.
Indeed, and that's not even the last of her stuff, because like so you know how on the control scheme all characters have their light, mediums, heavies, and they got one extra button, which is the X button for just like some special thing for each character.
Yeah.
So her thing is basically like it basically gives her a power up.
Oh, bro, what?
Yeah, it basically gives her a power up, which, as far as I know, as far as I've been able to figure out, it's basically just a damage booster, and then it basically goes for a little while, and it honestly kind of works like the heat mode in Tekken, honestly, because like you go into it for first time, but you can exit at any time by pressing the button again, and she does like a little spinning rush attack, essentially.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so like honestly, like I can definitely see her being picked up by a lot of, by any new players who want just like a simple character to main in a game full of like more technical characters. So like honestly, I couldn't be more happy for the fact that the big dragon lady, who, you know what, I'm just gonna call her V, because Versusia is
that's a mouthful.
yeah, well, no, the syllables just do not. They just do not roll off the tongue all that well. So yeah. I'm just gonna call her Lady V for the time being. But yeah, she's definitely gonna be a major pick for me in any like matches I come across in Versus Rising.
That's awesome. That's freaking amazing, man. Well, I think with that, I think we can pretty much end on that, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we're just about out of time now. So yeah, again, thank you to everyone who came out to see the inaugural first episode of season 2.
Yes, thank you.
We're definitely hoping that you guys like the new formats, because we spent several meetings in the past month trying to figure out what we were going to do to make the podcast better. So we hope that you guys will give us your feedback so we can further refine our formula. And we hope you guys would come back for the next podcast.
Hell yeah! With that said, this is Wolfpak signing off,
and this is Shamaro leaving the dojo.
Stay warm, stay safe, and most importantly, fight on.
Fight on.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.
Later.